Thursday, June 29th. We are getting ready to get the car hopefully all fixed up and ready for Menominee tomorrow night. We had initially planned to take this weekend off, but that guy right there got a hold of me this morning, asked if I was racing anywhere. Told him I didn't touch the car. He lives a great distance away from us, decided to drive up and help us out. So it is myself, Marcus, and Corey in the shop tonight, putting the radiator in. We got changing out this bad water temperature gauge. There's our new one, that's what it should read. There's what our current one reads. So we gotta replace all that. Trying to see if we can't get this shroud.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, it's just
trying to get this shroud on the car to help cool down the race car. So I guess we'll see what they can get done, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be racing this weekend. So shout out to Corey and Marcus for digging deep on a last minute Thursday. And
all right, so Marcus is attempting to disconnect the gauge so we can replace it with a new one. There's the old one.
you.
She back down finally? Yep, it wasn't at that last night. It was still sitting at 170 last night. Marcus is working on getting the new one in. He's got it in there, and Corey's on the phone with Cody, trying to think of some ideas on the radiator and all that fun stuff. Make sure you're getting them all.
Yeah, I'm gonna check them all over as long as I'm in here.
Oh, look. It's the princess himself, Cody.
all right, so Corey's down underneath the car here, putting together thing to block the debris to come up so it doesn't wreck our radiator or fan. And then I am getting ready to change oil. So we got fresh oil there, putting fresh oil in now. All right, so we took the radiator out, cleaned it out, and we added these zip ties that go through the radiator, and they will hold the honeycomb directly, as you guys can see, directly to the radiator. So hopefully that will help keep the dirt out. We do have a new radiator coming. It should be here next week, and we'll change that out and put a new one in for that. So we're just getting the finishing touches up on this thing, and then we're gonna load it up and go home for the night. So that's what's going on. It's been a quick turnaround. If it wasn't for Marcus, Amber, and Corey, we wouldn't be racing. So because quite honestly, I haven't done jack crap to this car besides put oil in it.
All right, everyone. Guess what day it is? It's race day. Yeah, it looks like I'm in the same spot as I was last week, because I am. We are here at Red Cedar Speedway. You can see in the background, we just unloaded the car. We have a whole crew here today. Amber. We actually all got to ride together today because Amber was done with work on time. Cody was done way early, and then Marcus and Izzy were able to come. Corey came over. Corey's my friend from like long time ago, since we were teenagers. He lives about 2.5 hours away, and he was able to come over yesterday and help Cody with getting the car back together, trying to make sure it's going to stay cool. So they decided they wanted to come here and try it, not we, right, Amber?
We did not have any decision.
No, we were looking forward to.
What did we get a text message at like
Noon yesterday? I was like, really? Because I haven't even washed your suit yet.
Wonder whose bright idea this was.
Blame that guy right there.
He put the idea in the head.
I can take it.
Yeah, you have to have shoulders if you're going to hang out with this group. So here we are, ready to start another night. Wish us luck.
strapped in. Jenny's helping him, and he never trusts us.
He always has to check it himself.
What's the thing? Oh, yeah.
So it's fine.
Part of the routine.
If it makes you happy, makes you feel comfortable, that's you check it, that's fine.
Well, then if it's not turned up all the way, he can say that it was on him, not us, right?
What we had to do this time. You did what you had to do. You got third.
I know. Good job. I could have won the race, but here's the thing. Everyone wanted to the bottom, and I knew that's where they were gonna go. Tried to make the outside work, but seriously, it wasn't packed down, and I about put it in the fence in the first lap. And then it was just all about picking cars off, and there's a really, really nasty rut entering 3. And if you hit it right, you can launch. But if you hit it wrong, you gotta get out the gas. And
yeah. All right. So, thoughts on the heat race? Had a really good start right away. Has two cars till you
went to the top. Okay, so here's my thought process on it. You know, there's a big old tack strip on the bottom, dry in the middle. A little tack right in the middle, or just up top, sorry. But once it was tacky, it was marbly, and it went in there really nice, and then it shoved the front end because it lost all traction, which therefore, you know, it put us behind.
So we went to the top. Oh my. We're just watching that over there. You had to see it.
He ripped his muffler off. Look at that. Zoom in.
Oh, do they know he ripped his muffler off?
So, obviously, we got a good start in the heat race. We passed 2 cars before we even got to turns 1 and 2. And that's great and all, but when we got to 1 and 2 is where we had a problem. It looked really enticing, and I wanted to go up there, and so I went up there, but after the quarter of a feet that I went in there, it shoved the right front so hard, it about knocked the wall down. And quickly realized that if I'm going to run up there, I've got to set the car a little quicker or whatever. So I went up there again just to set the car quicker, and it stuck. But at the same point in time, the car in front of me slid off the bottom, and that's the place you wanted to be at. And so I drove underneath them, and the rest is history. I kind of just worked my way up from last on the bottom, and 3 and 4 was super treacherous. There's massive holes. I tried to cut across them and get the drive coming off before there. And every time I did that, I just screwed myself. So I went back to driving in real slow and let the right rear hook the rut and then turn and go. And I do think that had I found that sooner or not followed back so far right away, we might have been able to do something in that heat race. So I mean, we got there. We made the redraw or the invert, they say. But we have the 6th worst points in that invert, so we're going to start 6th tonight. So it's not a front row, but it's a lot better than starting 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 15th, whatever it may be. But you know, we just started 7th there in the heat race, and in 8 laps we worked our way up to the 3rd. You know, obviously it's a heat race, and you don't have the caliber of cars always in one heat. So we have our work cut out for us, but.
Okay, so here is the lineup. Cody talked about he's starting 6th, so 3rd row outside. He did make the invert, but it's a point system. And I cannot explain that to you because I do not know exactly how it works. All right, so you went and looked at the track.
It's going to be hammered down, I think. They must have learned their lesson from last week. Last week they killed the bottom and there was a cushion, and they just left the cushion and watered it, and there was really nothing up there. This week they watered it until I walked over there just because it looked like it was wet, but you just never know. Every clay is a little bit different at every track, and walked over there and she's slimy. So I'm not quite certain we made the right changes, but we can sit here and second guess ourselves all day long and talk ourselves out of something and really screw us up. So we're just gonna try it and put in our notes. You know, we're still building, I think I talk about all the time. We're always learning with these things, and every track condition is a little bit different. So we start 6th. Brian Jensen starts right in front of us, and it's a long race. I mean, it's only 15 laps, but it's still a long race, and we have to make it to the end. So obviously the goal to come here is to win, but to be honest with you, I'd be happy with the top 5 after not really knowing what our outcome may be tonight. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, go get
Tiger.
All right, good luck, Cody. Love you. All right. let Cody get out of the car before we talk to him because I'm sure he's upset, disappointed. How hot was it?
210.
210? Okay, that's good.
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I didn't junk it.
You're what?
Just happy I didn't junk it.
Yeah.
Here's what's going on. We went way too stiff. We went way too stiff with the right rear being. The only reason I could run the bottom is because I could get the car to turn on the dry, so when I would hit the tack, I could wind it. What Brandon was doing, I was following him, and I could stay on them, but as soon as my right rear would hit the tack, it was game over.
Here at the end, though, in this last, with 3 laps to go, with this last caution, you were better on the top side.
Yeah, because it cleaned up a little bit, but it's still really.
And then you went back to the bottom.
Well, I knew what Karras was gonna do. Drive it in because he hasn't been consistent. He was consistent, and then right before that yellow, he both spun out, so I don't think he knew where to go. And then he went in and he missed his mark on entry. And when I went up there and I was packing down the top trying to figure out what was up there, there was hardly, to me, it didn't seem like there was a lot to hold you coming off of 2. And so I'd have to cut across it. So my plan was to go in there, and the way that they all entered way really high. So that kind of tells me one thing, that if they enter really high like that, they're not going to be able to get their car to turn and go through the center. So as I entered just a little bit lower than them, and I was able to get the car to turn. And my plan was to drive, because there's a little piece of tack strip right in the middle. If you can hit it, you're good. But if you miss it, you're screwed. And as soon as he washed up like that, I just went underneath him. But it was too late because the 83 was down there and he was moving. And then once I committed there, then I was kind of screwed. So I didn't even go to the top of 3-4. I don't know if I should have, could have, would have, but when they slide up like that, you have 2 options: either lift for them or whatever, or you drive underneath them. And I could have drove underneath 83, but we would have had some unhappy guys, and it's just not worth it for 5th place. So
no, not for 7th place.
I was at his door, but I could have buried them in there.
6th place or whatever.
So we would have got 5th out of that deal if I would have done it, but it's just not worth it. Maybe if you were going for the win, I'd probably drive it in there, but it is what it is. And so as you guys saw, we went to Red Cedar Speedway in Omni, Wisconsin. We really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into because, if you guys watched the previous video, we had overheating problems. We talked to Baxter Engines, and they told us to do a couple things during the week to try to fix it. One of them, replacing the gauge and yada yada. If you guys are interested, go back and watch that video. It's a great video. So anyways, we went to Red Cedar. Like I said, didn't really know what to expect. Started last in the heat race, which was 7th, finished 3rd, motor held together, so that was great. Then we made the invert, which we were 6th worst in, I think, in the invert of points, or we had the 6th best invert in points, something like that. Ended up starting 6th. I think we were in the top 5 early, and then I jumped the cushion, about knocked the wall down, fell back to, I don't even know, but ended up finishing 7th. So all in all, it was a okay night. I wouldn't say it was great, but it could have been a lot worse. So I guess next on tap is Cedar Lake Speedway is this upcoming Saturday. Don't know the date on that off the top of my head. I think it's July 8th. It's $5,000 to win. It's a big race. You normally get a lot of cars. Of course, all the good ones will be there, so it'll be tough to get it done, but we're up for the challenge. And then it's going to be a short turnaround, as we are headed to Ogilvie Raceway, Ogilvie, Minnesota, for the Mod Wars, which is a US MTS race, and we are the support class. When I say we, Midwest Mods are the support class. We will be there Thursday through Saturday. I think the date on that is July 13th through July 15th. We hope to see you guys there. As always, be sure to like this video, share with your friends and family, comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, take care. Have a blessed day.